Welcome Snoozy friends, to your channel Snooze in 10's new playlist, Snooze in Facts. Today we would be talking about our universe, from when there was nothing, to time of Big Bang, to the formation of galaxies and finally seeds of life. Just too brief for our first-time listeners. Our idea of channel is that we try to engage your imagination gently and activate the parasympathetic nervous system, help you not to overthink when you close your eyes. Last but not the least, provide you emotional comfort. Let's begin today's fact in a snoozy way. The song of the universe. Before time began. Before the first stars, before the first galaxies, before even space or time itself, there was nothing. Not empty space. Not darkness. Not even time. There was no before, because time had not yet begun. There was no place, because space had not yet unfolded. Only a quiet, timeless potential, waiting. And then, in a moment so brief it escapes imagination, everything began. We call this moment the Big Bang. It was not an explosion in space, for there was no space yet. It was a great unfolding. A blossoming of reality itself. Time began to tick. Space began to stretch. Energy and matter poured into being. From something smaller than an atom, the entire universe began to expand. Faster than the speed of light, the young cosmos grew, swelling in size, filled with pure energy. And within that energy were the seeds of everything that would one day exist. Then there was hot, bright beginning of the universe we know now. At first, the universe was a churning sea of energy. The heat was so intense that nothing solid could form. No atoms, no stars, no galaxies. Just a wild storm of tiny particles, quarks, electrons, photons, racing and colliding in the newborn universe. As the universe expanded, it also cooled. Seconds passed. Minutes. Hours. The tiny particles began to settle. Quarks joined into protons and neutrons, the building blocks of matter. After about 3 minutes, yes 3 minutes, the universe cooled enough for protons and neutrons to fuse into atomic nuclei. Mostly hydrogen and helium. But the universe was still too hot for full atoms to form. A fog of particles remained. Thick and glowing, with light trapped inside. For 380,000 years, the universe stayed in this bright, hot fog. Then, as it cooled further, something beautiful happened. Electrons settled into orbits around atomic nuclei. Atoms were born. The fog cleared. Light could travel freely for the first time. That ancient light. The afterglow of the Big Bang still fills the cosmos today. We call it the cosmic microwave background, the oldest light we can see. The universe had become transparent. But there were still no stars, no galaxies. Only vast clouds of hydrogen and helium, drifting in the dark. The first stars awaken. Gravity, the quiet force pulling all things together, began its work. The great clouds of hydrogen and helium were not perfectly smooth. Some regions were just a little denser than others. In those denser places, gravity pulled harder, drawing gas inward. Over millions of years, the densest clouds collapsed further. As they fell, they grew hot. And deep within them, the first stars were born. They were giant stars, vast, brilliant, and short-lived. They lit the darkness of the early universe. For the first time, the cosmos glittered with starlight. But gravity did not stop. The gathering of stars began. The newborn stars pulled on each other. Their combined gravity gathered more gas. More stars were born. Slowly, the stars began to swirl together, forming great, spinning groups. Over millions of years, these groups of stars grew larger and more organized. They became the first galaxies. Each galaxy held millions, later, billions of stars, spinning slowly through space, held together by gravity. Some were spiral galaxies, with elegant arms winding outward. Others were elliptical, smooth, and round. Some were irregular, shaped by collisions and chance. And so, the universe that had once been formless began to take on shape, filled with great islands of stars. As the early galaxies came into being, gravity continued its quiet work, and the cosmic web started. The universe was not smooth. Some parts had more dark matter, a kind of invisible mass, and more gas than others. In these richer regions, galaxies gathered. In thinner regions, they drifted apart. Over time, this created a great structure across the cosmos. A cosmic web. Imagine a spider's web, stretched across the night sky. Thin strands, glowing with clusters of galaxies. Vast dark spaces between, empty and silent. Some strands grew thick, where many galaxies clumped together. These became galaxy clusters, huge gatherings of hundreds or thousands of galaxies, swirling in a gravitational dance. Between these clusters were vast voids, empty regions spanning millions of light-years, nearly free of stars. And so, the cosmic web took shape. Filaments of galaxies, nodes where clusters gathered, vast cosmic voids. The universe was no longer just stars and gas. It was an intricate, living structure, shaped by gravity over billions of years. When we look into deep space with our greatest telescopes, we see this web still today, a shimmering map of the universe's history. The seeds of life started to appear in the swirling arms of a spiral galaxy. The one we call the Milky Way. New stars continued to be born. One of those stars, around 4.5 billion years ago, was a yellow star. Modest in size, we call it the Sun. Around the young Sun a disk of gas and dust circled. Tiny grains of dust stuck together, becoming pebbles, then rocks, then larger bodies, called planetesimals. These collided and grew. Some became small moons or asteroids. Others became full-fledged planets. One of these planets was just the right distance from the Sun, not too hot, not too cold. Its surface cooled. Water collected in vast oceans. The sky cleared. This was Earth, your home. From simple molecules, life emerged. Tiny, fragile, persistent. Over billions of years, life grew more complex. Plants stretched toward the Sun. Creatures swam in the seas, crawled upon the land, looked up at the stars. And eventually, here you are, a living being, made from atoms forged in ancient stars. A mind able to wonder at the vast story of the universe. The universe did not stop at its beginning. It was still unfolding. It continues to expand. Galaxies move apart, carried by the stretching of space. New stars are born. Old stars die, scattering their elements into the cosmos. In the distant future, the Milky Way will merge with the nearby Andromeda galaxy, creating a new, larger galaxy. Farther still, galaxies may drift beyond our view. As space expands ever faster, driven by something called dark energy, whose nature we still do not fully understand. The universe's story is still unfolding. And so are we, living beings on a small world. In a galaxy, in a cosmos beyond imagining. Today, we can see billions of galaxies in every direction. Some are small, tiny dwarfs, with just a few million stars. Others are giant ellipticals, glowing with ancient suns. Many are spirals, graceful arms, winding outward, full of blue, young stars. Others are irregular, shaped by collisions and chance. Galaxies continue to change. They collide and merge. They birth new stars. They fade as their gas runs out. They grow into larger structures, clusters, superclusters, threads of the cosmic web. When we look deep into space with powerful telescopes, we see galaxies as they were billions of years ago. Their light traveling across time to reach us. Each galaxy is a story, written in stars. And among them, in a quiet arm of the Milky Way, is a small blue planet, Earth. And tonight, on that world, you lie beneath the stars, part of this grand, ancient story. As you close your eyes tonight, imagine the first moment of time, when the universe began, the birth of the first stars, the swirling dance of galaxies forming, the great cosmic web unfolding, the ancient stardust that became the Earth and you. You are part of this vast unfolding, a child of the stars, a witness to the universe's endless song. Sleep now, knowing that the galaxies turn gently above you. The stars shine. The universe breathes. And you are at home within it. Good night.